Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pardon My Success.
Get ready, it's the new edition, your favorite morning meditation. Hey, it's me, pardon my success. I'm a hot mess.
You may have noticed we have a new member of the family. This right here is the exact microphone that our good friend Cullen Bonham was talking about, the blue bottle microphone, Yeti, whatever, I'm not even really sure, which was so generously lent to the podcast by our good friend of the pod, Skarulis, who will be coming on the pod. Do not worry. That is a special episode that is planned. Get excited. Another fun update involving our very own lovely Skarulis. With her help, we were able to secure an incredible venue for our next In the Know event, which is the entertainment industry networking community that me and some of my friends from the agency started. Also, this microphone currently does not work because I am waiting for the mini USB to arrive from Amazon. It will be arriving Tuesday. We are very excited. I just realized about 5 minutes ago that it does not actually take a micro USB, so I had believed, and it is in fact a different type of USB than the one that is in the keyboard that goes to my computer, and any of the other cords that I own and already have. So now I will have an additional cord. Thank God. I was so worried, you know what I mean? But I'm really excited for when the cord to this does come in and I am able to use this really official looking podcast mic, because I feel like just its existence alone makes me feel more like I'm actually podcasting. Maybe I'll clip this mic. Oh my God. Okay. Now I can pretend this is real. See? This is fine. This is normal. This is how other people podcast, right? I'm also not really sure if this is recording properly. I genuinely hope so. But I just have returned from, oh my God, no feet for free. I have just returned from my sister-in-law's reading of her pilot episode of Low Orbit, which is like a space-themed woman protagonist animated pilot episode. Like, me and my boyfriend walked out of there like, that's gonna be made into an episode, like we can't wait to see it. Yeah, it's just really amazing to see so many people that I love, you know, accomplishing really cool things and really amazing dreams, and I'm just so excited to see where it all ends up and to support everybody. And you know, like, I literally had coffee today with like a friend of my brother's friend and I feel like that's just entirely what the industry is about, is just meeting people and networking. And I'm like really happy that me and my friends started this networking community so that I don't have to get a million individual coffees and drinks with every single person on the planet in order to find a new job. But I'm really excited about that. The podcast. Guys, can you believe this is episode 9? 9? That's crazy. We've been doing this for 9 weeks. That's over 2 months. It's been fun. It's been really interesting. It's a lot of me just editing all the time or being really stressed that I'm not currently editing. But I hope you guys enjoy all the episodes that have come before. I do seriously spend so much time on them. Honestly, just so great as a resource too. Like, while editing, like the Lizzie No episode that I came out last week, I had recorded that like, you know, weeks prior. I had an episode talking about like when I actually went on the trip. And it was really cool to actually sit down and watch back the entire conversation now that some time has passed, because I honestly didn't remember a lot of the stuff. I was so busy doing her makeup that a lot of it just like, you know. And it's great that I have the pod as a resource to come back to and see the real world experience, and let it guide me and you and whoever else on their journeys. We're praying that the SAG strike ends so that we can all return to work here in Hollywood. Me and Haley literally were trying to manifest it the other day. We had candles, we had crystals, we were turning off lights, we were holding hands. We can actually all, as an industry, get back into it, and maybe then I can start maybe actually performing in some capacity and not be a scab. It's also been really interesting since starting the podcast. I felt a lot more confident, you know, talking about my goals and dreams and the things I want to do. Because I have been able to articulate it at least once to you guys. And so when I meet other people, it feels like very normal to be like, oh yes, like this is what I want to do and this is how I think I'm going to do it. And people are very surprised. But I've also now on the EGOT path route have what I believe to be at least a slight template that really excites me, which I think could knock out a couple awards at once, which my dad used to say the only people who got EGOTs were composers who just were able to like knock out a bunch of categories with one song. You know, obviously anyone that has won multiple awards with just a song, that's incredible. But as I'm writing this album, a thing to keep in mind, I guess, at least, is that I would really love like a Mean Girls-esque, very campy, Heathers-y, fun jukebox musical based off of my own music about my life and cast it as a full musical, and that is what goes on tour as my concert. That's like my album, you know, it's performing it but in like a very fun, different kind of way. And then A Girl Can Dream, you know, a residency on Broadway, and it turns into a movie, and you know, maybe I could knock out a couple, you know, I feel like Grammy, Oscar, Tony could be right in there if I do it well enough, if all goes well. But I literally thought of that when I was sitting at the Eras concert tour with Haley, funny enough. This episode is all entirely about Haley. This episode, I guess, is dedicated to Haley. Thank you, my queen, my love, my joy. With this podcast as well has also come my favorite question to ask people now, which is just, like, what is the dream? What is the goal? Where do you want to end up? And when people tell me they don't know, I'm like, but you do. You might not want to say it, but you certainly know. And it's funny what you hear sometimes. You're chatting with somebody for a while and they have this whole prepared spiel about what they're doing and where they're at and like how they got there and like what their path is from there. But when it comes down to it, they actually don't want to work in, I don't know, paint sales, but want to open a restaurant and, you know, a bed and breakfast. I think more people should feel ready to get out there and pursue their dream, but I know it's also hard and real life comes in, like, God, people I know having babies, but also I love babies. I miss babysitting. I love nannying. I need a really rich family to pay me to live there. That would be great. I don't know if you guys have officially met my cat yet. He was in my episode with Roseanne momentarily, but I think you deserve a proper introduction. Everyone, please meet the lovely, incredible Wasabi. He is a spicy boy. He is the cutest guy on earth. The most handsome, chiseled boy ever, in fact. He is a menace to society and to me. He is approximately 14.5 pounds. He is about 1.5 years old. His birthday is April 9th. I got Wasabi with my best friend Sophia, who was also my college roommate, and she got his litter mate, his sister, Cleopatra. She's a tuxedo cat, and she is just so much smaller than him. He is a giant next to her. Honestly, I used to not be able to be in my apartment alone without him, but once I got him, he really did cure a lot of things. Emotional support animals are so real. I need so much emotional support. My boyfriend has a huge German Shepherd named Bear, and Bear, whenever I go outside with him, I feel very safe walking around with. Not to mention the fact that, like, you know, big dog privilege, but it really does feel like you have somebody else looking out for you. And as much as he doesn't love to be held too often or too much, he knows when I need it. Like when I'm crying, he will come up and just like lay there and like let my tears fall on him and just like lick them off himself. looking slightly annoyed at me, but does fair. He also loves to listen to me play piano. It's really cute. His cat tree is right next to the piano. I need to play more. I definitely need to schedule it in. My parents used to force us to practice 30 minutes of each instrument every single day, and I would literally want to yeet everything off of the building. So there's a lot of built up anger towards that. I definitely need to at least schedule it in. Are you just the cutest guy in the world? Francesca, who you guys met in the first episode, she had 10 cats because all of the neighborhood cats used to hang out outside of her house and she would feed them all. But she had one cat named Gandhi that lived in her house. And I loved Gandhi. Especially because his name was originally Ganja. So true. Well, Wasabi's done with this episode, and I guess I am for now too. We'll catch you later. So, I can't believe this, but I now have a working microphone that is a podcast mic. Look at her. She's so cute. And I'm recording it straight into my laptop, and it's going. I can't believe it. I wonder how the quality's gonna be. I hope I'm not too close to it. But this is really exciting. Some other things, as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're not watching the video, it might be a little difficult to see because you're not watching. But earlier in the video, when I was talking about being so upset about the SAG strikes, I am now so excited to announce that the SAG strike is over. Woo! We can all return. Well, I've been working, but the rest of Hollywood and the entertainment industry can now return to work and can start talking about projects, which is so exciting, you guys, because the person that I'm interviewing tomorrow in my time for the podcast is so exciting. It's genuinely, I'm so pumped. It is an actor who is pretty well known. I'm really excited for you guys to meet her and to hear about the projects that she's been in. But yeah, the strike is over, so we can actually talk about, the shows and movies and everything. What that also means is that I can hopefully start getting put up for projects. I don't know, it just feels like things are starting back up. Things are getting moving just like right at the nick of time too. Like I was getting so worried that we were all going to be stuck until the new year. But no, things are already like back up and filming. Like, ooh, I'm so excited. Also, our FaceTime with friends this week is going to be my bestie, Alyson Lo. She does deserve and will have an episode of her own, I promise. But I just wanted to have her on the pod. Me and Alyson are two girlies that be struggling. We just alternate every other week between who's having a mental breakdown, and you need that person that you can go to whenever you're struggling and you're like, listen, I need a vent, I need a rant, like here's my 5-minute voice memo of everything that has happened today. And that is my girlie Alyson, and I'm so excited for you guys to meet her. Whenever we're together, we have like just really interesting conversations, so I hope you enjoy. Yeah, love you guys.
Okay.
Everybody, I'm so excited to welcome my best friend, Alyson Lo. Thank you for coming to Pardon My Success.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's our little FaceTime with friends. You will, of course, have your own episode at some point. When that will be, I don't know.
She's really booked and busy. She's so booked and busy because she's doing so much and she knows so many people, and that is why I'm so happy that I have you in my life. And also that you are sharing your knowledge in this podcast.
Oh my god, thank you. I do my best. I'm here. I see here your giant movie feature mood board.
Yeah,
Not a mood
it's
board,
a
what is that
lot.
called?
We will not show that because she's
No.
not done, and she also looks like a like a gnome puked everywhere. But
It's pretty, though.
yes, but I feel like it shows like our creative energy and how we're always like hustling in our 20s. Like this is what you're supposed to do to survive and like
Literally.
entertainment.
The defining decade. It is really important that you like take this time while you don't have kids and other responsibilities yet to really figure out what it is that you want to do.
If you hear background noise, it's because I am having a Friendsgiving with some of my best friends, which is why May is here, May included, and we
Yeah.
thought it'd be a good time to do this.
That's why I'm dressed like a
Here.
pilgrim.
Yes.
We look really cute and like
We do look
festively
very
seasonal.
fall. But you know, I think the stress of like hosting as a woman especially is like you want everything to be perfect, and like that's kind of like, even though we're in 2023, it's still like a woman's like place essentially. It's like kind of like a woman's
The
home.
caretakering,
Yes.
the people pleasing, and like I feel like also a big thing is like we're societally brought up and told that women are more emotional and therefore need to be the caretakers and are therefore taught to always be anticipating other people's needs and to
Yes.
always be looking and always be on the lookout and always be ready to get in there and always put yourself last. You're just always giving. In that way, like when you have children, of course, like it does end up, and I feel like a lot of women say that, like once they have kids, it's like suddenly that becomes your everything. Like that
Yes.
is, and I feel like I understand that, and like I just have a cat.
And like even with like the friends in my life, I think we talk about this a lot too, is like the empathy and like putting people first and anticipating other people's needs. One, because we were taught to do so, but two, because I think that women are taught to really put like to like jump through like non-existent hoops to make people happy, because like you want to be able to provide for
Yeah.
everyone. And I feel like even though I don't have like a pet or anything, I definitely feel like the like love and care I give to my friends is like of that same caliber.
No, I totally agree. And there's the whole part of people pleasing too, that it becomes a very vicious cycle, because as somebody who is people pleasing, you end up feeling very resentful of the people that you're constantly trying to please, because you feel as though you're being in some way taken advantage of or not recognized for the things you're doing. But it's usually because you're not giving anybody a chance to recognize it or to thank you for it or even to like know that it's happening, because you're anticipating so far in advance that they don't know it's happening.
Absolutely. I think that it's like people also, because we're always on, we're always people pleasing, expect a certain level
Yes.
of friendship and
That's
behavior
normal.
from us.
And then when you don't have it, they're like, oh, that's weird that you didn't do that. I have realized that I am constantly telling other people that they need to give other people space and time to recognize that, you know, they need to reach out and that it's their turn, essentially, that I need to stop constantly being the one putting myself out there, and then feeling hurt and rejected when they don't respond. If I look at my phone and I see that I have like 4 text messages that you haven't responded to in 6 hours, then I'm not going to go and send a 5th one.
No, I totally feel you. It's about like kind of like giving yourself that same grace that we would give to our like other girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like if you would tell me don't send that goodnight text,
No,
and
you're
you
like,
need to
wait,
like, you know, take it.
Let him send the text.
Yeah, take that space for yourself.
Yeah. Say goodnight to yourself and your girlies. Text your bestie goodnight instead. You know what I mean?
And I do.
And I do.
I send you audio messages.
No, we're like, I
all
love
the
you
time.
so much. Like, it's amazing. And I also had this realization the other day. This was a big one too, in regards to like my people pleasing tendencies. Childhood bullying, so fucking real. It causes like some deep scars and pain that it's like, I've realized I've spent basically all of my life in all of my relationships making myself indispensable by doing things constantly that make people feel as though they need me around, because if I don't have that sense of they need me there, I feel as though
Yes.
I'm disposable.
Absolutely, like the like non-existent hoops of jumping
Yes,
through
yes, yes.
people.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
I think that's like my motivation.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. It's like even today, like every time that May has come to my house when I've had an event, I've needed something, and you know, she's always helped me make the drink, help my roommate, like, you know, and all of us get ready, or she like today helped me bring a pie crust when I dropped it on the fucking floor.
be
But
like
it's
that
it's like
sometimes.
that. Like it's definitely like, you know, wanting to do the most for your friend because
Yeah.
you want to feel that indispensable.
We are reliable people, and like
Yes.
I always know that like if I need anything I can call you, and I feel like I try to have that in relationships to make sure that people call me.
It's like, you know, you want to like give back and you
Yeah.
want to like help, and you have this like symbiotic relationship that is just like people pleasing.
But if someone, but
the
that,
point.
it's good when you have friends that are the same, because you guys are able to equally do it.
Yes.
But it gets really difficult when a relationship is one-sided, or when you are like friends with somebody who, or like in a relationship with somebody who doesn't recognize when you're doing all these things.
and may like emote a different way. And,
Yes.
like have a love language that's
Yes,
different.
yes. It might just be that you are like, me and Zach talk about this too. We are both people that show love through doing acts of service, but like both of us have difficulty receiving love through acts of service, where he has more of a problem with it. Like when people do things for him, he feels guilty that he should be doing more for himself, that he feels as though like, oh no, like, you're cleaning up for me because I'm messy, not because like I love you and like I want to help you.
Yeah, honestly, that is so true. I've never thought of it that way before, but I'm like, maybe I have some issues with that as well, honestly. Like, because you feel like you don't deserve that love in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, even me asking you to bring pie crust tonight, I'm like, I'm so sorry.
You
But I
are
shouldn't be
so
sorry.
apologetic.
Shouldn't be sorry.
You will say things to me. You're like, oh, I've had a horrible day. I'm so sorry, and I'm like,
Yeah, I need
don't
to get
you don't.
better.
But also,
A
I'm
lot of
also an
women do.
apologizer. I think we're all apologize. We're just constantly apologizing for existing because we've been told our entire lives that we're doing it wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We're existing wrong. No matter what we do, it's wrong. And it's really hard to therefore be doing things right. So everybody needs to sit down and look at themselves in the mirror. I've literally had to start doing this.
The affirmations?
Or like affirmations.
Yeah.
In the car, like in the mirror, getting ready in the morning, like putting on affirmations while you're doing your makeup is actually like 10 out of 10 would really recommend.
I used to go into the sauna at the beginning of the day, and if there was no one in there, then I would say the affirmations out loud.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if there was someone in there too, I would just like think of them in my head. And I do feel like they really help.
Meditations are really important, man. I used to kind of hate on it. I thought it would require a lot more time, but there are like 5-minute meditations that you can do that are so fast and so easy. Like the 10-minute ones in the sauna, like make it a fun little event for yourself. Like it's so soothing and healing when I can like get out of the sauna and feel like I just like am a new woman.
And like you can start the day with your affirmations and take that and carry that with you through the rest of your day, because a lot of people sometimes, especially in this industry, will not be nice to you.
No.
And you need to continue to have that self-worth for sure.
Yeah. And sometimes things in the world happen that like you literally can't help.
The other day I was getting coffee for everyone, and right when I got back, one of the bags, because of the steam of the hot coffee, just imploded on itself and spilled in front of everyone. And what I will say, what I think is really important about entertainment too, is that you have to find the people who will support you.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember if I told you about this, but I had like such tunnel vision when it spilled, and I was like, fuck. And I looked up, and everyone was surrounding me and like helping me clean up. And I don't even think I cleaned it up. If I'm being honest with you, I think like there were 17 people, and they all
felt so bad.
I just like blinked and everyone was gone, and I was like, that was so interesting.
That's really sweet
Yeah,
though.
so it ended up being very sweet, for sure. And like sometimes shit happens, you know. And I think that it's about finding people who are going to react well to those situations instead of like adversely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Find those people. As I think a lot of people have echoed already, like that I've interviewed, you gotta find your tribe, and you
Yeah.
gotta find the people that are gonna support you no matter what.
Your 20s is lonely.
It's lonely, and sometimes you gotta find new friends, and maybe old friends will come back, but
Yeah.
overall, it's just that like we're all figuring it out,
Yes.
and things are sloppy, things are hard. You're gonna cry a lot, but it's just remembering that it's okay, and you can pick yourself back up, and wipe your tears off.
Yeah.
Maybe phone a friend.
No, exactly. Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
I phone a friend every day.
You gotta.
Like-
You gotta phone a friend. It's very important.
Yes.
But we love you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh.
Pardon my success. Alyson Lo,
for
everybody.
having me.
Of course.
Part in my success.
Woo!
Are you PMSing?
Are you PMSing?